gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Fight Gods podcast. I'm your host, Nick Diddy, here with the main man, Willie G, and his son, Will. What's good, baby boy? How you doing?
The mini fight god right here.
Yeah,
He said, "How
mini
you
Fight
doing,
God in
William?"
the building.
All right.
Not great right now.
Having a rough day, man, but he'll be all right. But he did get a fresh cut. Look at that fresh cut, Nico.
Oh, I see him.
Looking
I see
good,
him
right?
styling, profiling.
Hey, go play some Mario Golf. I'll be out in a little bit to play with you. All right. Thanks for making a special appearance.
Say guest star.
Guest star. All right.
Guest
Ready to
star,
roll.
Cameo.
I can lock it for you.
Okay.
I'll lock it.
But yeah. Hey, everything's going good, man. Okay. Go ahead and shut the door, buddy. I got it. Everything's going good, man. Had a couple hours at the pool today, and got to chill with an old friend and get some lunch with him. Pretty good day, man. I feel like I got sunburnt though. I know you can't probably see it right now, but I have a feeling tomorrow I'm gonna wake up red like a lobster, bro.
I mean, you looking. Yeah, I can see it a little bit.
Looking a little tan, but I gotta feel. You know what I mean? I know you don't really get sunburnt like that, but
Nah, not really.
Yeah, man. I can feel it, man. It's starting. Feels like I got matte burn on my face a little bit.
Damn.
You know how that feels. So
Yes, sir.
what's going on with you, man?
Cool. And I spent the day outside actually today. We chilled on the porch. It was like high 80s, maybe 90s today. We just chilled outside.
Nice. That's what's up, bro. Yeah. It was like 93 at one point here today. It's hot, man, down south.
Yeah,
Bring the
man.
heat.
It's like humid, like sticky heat out here, man. It's pretty nasty.
Yeah, I got you. That's what's up, man. So hey, let's talk about that that bar fight with Joe Schilling, man. What'd you think of that?
Oh, right into it, huh?
Hey, let's roll with it, man.
Yo, actually, the funniest shit about that was after he pushed the guy out the way, yeah. And now Joe Schilling's back instead of the guy. That's when the dude chose to talk some shit, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, but the back of Joe Schilling's shirt said, like, ring cage parking lot. Like, you can get this fucking work anywhere. What are you thinking? Are you crazy?
That's pretty funny, man. That is hilarious, bro.
He definitely gonna catch a case over this shit.
Oh, yeah, there's already some stuff about it that came out tonight. I don't know if you've... Let me see if I could pull up the video real quick and see if that will work, just in case people haven't seen it yet. And then we'll get into he said, she said, they said, we said type stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, let's see. Yep, that's it right there. We will go ahead and make that full screen. We can hear it. Let's watch it, Nico.
Oh man, they had Snoop playing in the background. Next episode, he's definitely feeling himself. Straight up alpha push. What's he say?
Ring cage crew.
Good night, my guy.
Oh man. Let's see it one more time, Nico. Bro.
Now you got Shorty about to pick up this dead weight. Like, oh my god, man.
For real, man. Like what the video doesn't show and what we don't know is what that dude said to Joe Schilling after Joe Schilling kind of moved him to the side.
Look, honestly, it don't matter, man. If that man don't put his hands on you, you don't got no right to lay your hands on him the way that Joe Schilling's did. He's 1,000% in the wrong.
I totally agree with you, man.
And Joe is already on some hothead shit the way he pushed this man out the way. Like, why you even have to lay your hands on him right there?
I think that he said the dude's been talking shit the whole night.
I'm sure he's been running his mouth all night about what he can or whatever he thinks he can do.
Right.
In no way, shape, or form does that grant you a pass to touch that man like that. You're gonna
Joseph, bro. That guy Joe Schilling, the one that knocked him out, he's like an MMA fighter from Bellator. He was in Glory Kickboxing. I mean, he's a legit badass world champion in kickboxing, right, Nico?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's not somebody you're just gonna mess around with. And he gives any of us a two-piece like that, bro. We're hitting the deck, man. I mean, that dude, Exactly. He
Nap
puts people to
time.
sleep for a living.
It's nap time.
Nico, the best thing about that video though is it's shot so well. It almost looks like it's set up. If he
Yo,
didn't like crush that dude's soul, I'd say it was fake. But man, he like literally like put that man
he
to
lit
sleep.
him up, man.
You
He
know,
lit him up.
but it looks like it was almost like produced, like they were acting this shit out. You know what I mean? The dude even looks like an actor. He looks like some slime ball they'd have playing a stockbroker or something. That's just talking shit.
Okay. I can see it.
You remember Boiler Room? That movie?
Yep,
Yeah. He looks like one of those clowns that was in the room with Ben Affleck when he told the one dude to get the fuck out. But yeah, so anyway, and we've all seen those guys at the bar that are like a little weasel like that dude talking shit, and you're like, are you serious? I mean, really? You better have some tough dudes with you if you're gonna be talking that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Man, 100%.
So let me go to some of these quotes because there's some different stuff about it. So let's see. Where things stand legally. The man in the video was identified as 31-year-old Justin Balboa. Best part of it, the dude's name is Balboa.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. He don't got no chin like Rocky.
Not like Rocky, no.
He don't got no chin like Rock.
Yep. So his name is Justin Balboa. And he must have been Rocky's other kid, the one that didn't end up fighting, huh?
Yeah, Adrian.
Yeah, exactly. And the incident took place at a bar in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. According to MMA Fighting, which obtained a police report, no formal charges have been filed against Schilling, who could face one misdemeanor charge of simple battery for striking Balboa. As of Tuesday, no formal charges had been filed. Balboa says that Schilling just hit him for no reason. Balboa was described in reports as obviously intoxicated. Let's see. So, only wanted it. Okay, so Balboa said he only wanted the incident documented in order to file a civil suit against the establishment. So he's not even going against Joe Schilling at this point. Okay. So the bar manager put in the report that Balboa was extremely intoxicated. Joe Schilling claims self-defense. He says the video shows little context. This guy's rapping like an idiot. The busboy, who happens to be black, walks by, and this idiot bumps into him and screams out, me and broke N-word, we don't get along. The busboy was seriously offended, but doesn't want to lose his job. As the night goes on, this clown starts looking at me and rapping whatever song is being played while making eye contact with me. I'm like, what's wrong with this idiot? I go outside to smoke, and as I'm walking back in, he bumps into me. I put my hands out to catch him. He immediately says, I'm sorry. You could see me nod my head like, cool. Then he realizes it's me, the guy he's been rapping at all night, and yells, hey. I turn around and he flexes on me. Bad decisions are made every day. I went back and sat down to finish my drink and pay my bill. 2 servers, the busboy and DJ, came up to thank me. As you can see from the video, when he flexes on me, I was scared for my life and simply defending myself against the evil in this world.
Joe, you gotta chill out. You can't take a page out of Gamebred Masvidal's book. Get out of here. That's the same bullshit he pulled on Leon Edwards when he walked up to him and gave him that 3-piece in the soda. Cut the bullshit. This in fear for your life shit has got to stop.
Bro, I wonder if Hector Lombard was scared for his life when
come on, man, yeah.
When Lorenzo Hunt came in the cage. For real. So let's go. Last thing I'll read is Justin Balboa's attorney said, it should not have happened. You watched that video and cringe. This is a professional fighter. To tell me you felt threatened as a professional fighter that's fighting in the highest level of all fighting, Bellator, and all these things, I don't buy it. I think it was uncalled for, and there's consequences when you do things like that. I think a professional fighter overreacted to a situation that he didn't need to do what he did, and to punch somebody as hard as he punched this guy. He's lucky he's not dead, and we're dealing with a different type of case.
All right. Now, all right. Cut it out, man.
So that dude's kind of ridiculous,
too. Get out of here with this death shit.
The only way that dude could have died is if he hit his head on the corner of the bar on his way to sleep, maybe.
Oh, was Magushla? Was it $1 Million Baby?
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Somebody put
God.
somebody put the stool out,
Yep.
caught that neck.
Yeah, that was fucked up, man. I was actually talking about that movie. I was telling Melanie about that movie the other day. That was a good movie, but it's kind of messed up when that happened, man. What you taking shots of over there, man? Uh-oh. Hey, Nico.
Yo.
2 weeks from this Sunday, you know what you're going to be taking shots of, right? Proper 12 whiskey, Proper 12? Because Connor's going to knock out Justin. Dustin, not Justin.
Is it only if he knocks him out or if he wins?
No, if he wins. And if he loses, I'll order the shirt, the Dustin Poirier shirt, and the next week, as soon as it comes in, I'll wear it on the show.
Nah, fuck that. You got to order the hot sauce and take a shot of that.
Okay, no problem. Nico, cheers.
That guy.
Got the Arizona working, bro.
Proud of you.
Bro, where is this stuff even made? I know it's not in Arizona. Is it? I almost feel like it should be made in Long Island. Let's see. Woodbury, New York, man. I had a feeling it had to be New York because this is New York iced tea if I've ever had it in my life. But yeah, man. Both sides are way overreacting to this shit, saying some wild stuff. The whole bar incident. But yeah, man. So besides that, have you seen the whole Jake Paul and Triller contribution deal that they made? Okay.
No. So I thought that his next event was with Showtime.
It is.
Okay.
But Sarah Alpar, who is a UFC fighter, is facing some financial hardships, and so she started a GoFundMe, and basically the GoFundMe was help me become world champion. So she started the GoFundMe was called Help Sarah Too Sweet Become a UFC Champ. And basically, it was to help pay off training camp expenses and living expenses while she prepared for fights, because she doesn't make very much money. She's only had one fight in the UFC, and she lost that fight. So she was just trying to raise $30,000. So the day that she put it out, and she had till December 1st. That was her goal, by December 1st. The day she put it out, Jake Paul messaged her and sent her $5,000. Just, and to Jake Paul, $5,000 is like me or you giving somebody $1 on the street. But regardless, so he messaged her, and let's see. It doesn't even say what he said to her, but anyway, he messaged her and sent her $5,000. Then, right after that, Triller donated the other $25,000. So she made her $30,000 the first day. So after that, basically what we see is, Triller made a whole statement or whatever. And, let's see. And, she basically said, I don't know what to say. No one has ever done something like that for me. And it was just so simple for him. I don't know. I'd say everything, all the things, and none of the things at all, because I'm awkward. Like, I'm just so grateful. And plus, I can't believe you found me. Let's see. Basically, she went on to say that she was just trying to get her friends and family to throw her a few bucks each, and hopefully she could, pay for for her
majority of the money. Yeah.
Right. And so Jake Paul used this as an opportunity to talk about how shitty the pay in the UFC is.
Absolutely.
Which makes a lot of sense, because he's had an issue with that for a while. So, yeah, man, I wonder what Dana White's reaction to that is going to be. He's got to feel dumb if Jake Paul is putting that out there. You know what I mean? And this girl works for him, and Jake Paul just paid her training expenses.
I think Dana White could give a fuck less, honestly.
You really?
Yeah, the hell yeah.
You don't think this is bad press for the UFC, though?
There's no such thing.
Yeah. I mean that's
not
true.
when you're at the level that Dana's at and the prestige that the UFC is at.
Right, right.
It's some fighters talking about shit pay. It's other fighters who negotiate better pay.
Right.
You feel me? Like they're still getting their bread. They're still getting big bucks, and they'll
Yep.
still have it out with Dana for just a little bit more. You know what I mean? It's tale as old as time, man.
Yeah. Hey, I was looking at this thing the other day, where GSP was saying that like it didn't really matter what the UFC said they were paying him. He said he was making over $5 million a fight, and that was several years ago, before anybody in the UFC really was making $1 million a fight, and then they offered it to Conor. Apparently, GSP was making more than that to begin with, which is cool because I've seen. Yeah, oh, me too. I've seen Brendan Schaub talk about how fighters would blow up Dana White saying, I want to be on GSP's card. I want to be on GSP's card. And only because, once in a while, you get a Conor McGregor or an Anderson Silva that has a good buy rate. But he said that Georges St. Pierre is the king of pay-per-view in the UFC as far as consistently having good buy rates every time he fought. So all the fighters want to be on that card that got a kickback of, of the pay-per-view points. Everybody said we want George's, whatever card George is on. So, which I thought, is pretty cool. But, and, at that point, guaranteed he was making more than Anderson because he sold more than Anderson. But, he had a whole country behind him. If you think about it, there wasn't a whole lot of Canadian MMA fighters that were big names besides him. You know what I mean? When I think about Canadian UFC fighters, David Loiseau never really amounted to that much. Rory McDonald,
supposed to, yep.
Right. Rory McDonald just came up just a little bit short, but GSP, that's the man right there, man. Yeah. The only guy I can honestly say besides Khabib that I've seen go out on top,
Yep.
And then came back, beat Michael Bisping's ass.
Out on top.
Yep. And then left on top again. Oh, definitely, man. I love it. So pretty cool stuff. But Nico, I actually, about 30 minutes before we went on the air, I had an epiphany about the whole Dana White and issue with Ngannou's management. And I have a feeling I know what happened.
Tell me.
In boxing, it's a little different than the UFC because each fighter is promoted by somebody different. So if I'm the champion, I'm going to fight you. They have like a mandatory rematch. Sometimes we'll put it in the contract. Yep. If Deco beats me, I want my rematch immediately, or I want it like within 5. Yeah. So the UFC can't really do that because they promote everybody. But this was their way of making Derek Lewis a mandatory opponent. Because I think what happened is they wanted Ngannou to fight Lewis, and I think that Ngannou, didn't want to fight him. He wanted that John Jones fight and the John Jones money. And since John Jones has been bullshitting, they kept saying, no, we want you to fight Lewis. They even kind of put out word that those two were going to fight, even though the fight wasn't scheduled yet. I think to try to pressure him to sign, and he wouldn't sign. So now Dana does a interim title shot. I think that Dana really hopes that Lewis wins that fight because I really think that Lewis would be a bigger star as champion than Gane would be, only because of his personality.
Lewis would be a bigger star than Jones, than fucking Ngannou, than all of them. All of them.
So what Dana wants, a little dark in here, let me go ahead and turn that on. What Dana wants is for Lewis to win that fight.
Yeah.
And then he really has a power move and say, okay, Ngannou, you've got to fight him. He's the man. He's the interim champion. It's mandatory for you to fight him.
And if not, we're going to give him Stipe.
If not, exactly. He's going to fight Stipe, and the winner of that's the undisputed champion, and you just drop down in the rankings. I really think that that's what he put together.
Yeah.
And this guy's manager, he's saying how Dana's a liar and all this stuff and how they told him he'd fight in September. He needed something for August because all these champions have been fighting, man. We've had 2 events with 3 champions on them, 3 championship fights, and he needed something with Amanda and Juliana. That's not going to sell a lot of pay-per-views, So it was, like I said the other day, it was definitely a power play by Dana, but I kind of am getting an idea of how he was thinking when he did this. So just wanted to throw that out there.
No, I agree 100%. Smart business tactics by Dana.
It is.
Shitty for Francis Ngannou.
Yep.
Like Ariel Hawani said, it's 1000% a farce. It's bullshit, but it's the move that he probably has to make, man. When you force the boss's hand, you can't be mad at the play that he makes.
Yep, absolutely.
And
the other thing,
take the title off of you. People still recognize you as the champion. Everybody looks at that IC title as, bullshit. They look at you as a paper champion. You're not legit until you fight the real champion, no matter what you do.
Right.
So as long as Francis is still collecting souls when he steps out in that ring, people are still going to view him as the champ.
They will, but Nico, let's not forget the UFC will tell a different story because they will keep talking about how Lewis beat him the first time and how Ngannou wouldn't take the rematch. That's how you sway the viewer.
That's true.
They can manipulate it however they want to, really. And in that situation, they'll come out with Ngannou not looking so great.
Yeah.
But anyway, I put out, because it's a slow week, I thought of it. We will do who we think is going to be champion on the first of the year, because today's the last day of June. Tomorrow starts July. We're done with 6 months. We got 6 months to go. No UFC events this week. They took this middle week off, middle week of the year. And then, we start back up with the pay-per-view next week. Conor versus Dustin. That's a powerful card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the UFC rankings. We will look at the top 15 in each division. And we will, we'll go through and we'll tell who we think is going to be champion at the end of the year, because I really don't believe a lot of the guys that are champion right now, or women, we'll look at it as we go along, but I don't think that we'll have all the same champions at the end of the year that we have right now.
All right, let's do this.
So here's the top 15 in the flyweight division. I'll just read the top 5. You got Brandon Moreno as the champion. Number 1 contender is Davison Figueiredo. Number 2 is Askar Askarov. Excuse me. Number 3 is I can't even read it, it's so small. Alexander Pantoja. Number 4, Alex Perez. Number 5, Joseph Benavidez. It goes down. I mean, there's plenty more, but I don't really see anybody outside of that top 5 becoming champion by the end of the year.
What weight is this?
This is flyweight.
Okay.
We got Brandon Moreno as champ. Go up just a little bit. So, Nico, who do you think will be champion at the end of the year in the flyweight division in the Ultimate Fighting Championship?
Babyface.
Yeah, I think so too, man. He's a tough dude. I think that I don't even see Askar getting the fight, even though he's the number 2 contender. Figueiredo is not going to get the immediate rematch because he got his ass beat. I think Pantoja ends up fighting Moreno, and I think that's a rematch, and that Pantoja beat him the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good way to sell a fight. Hey, this guy's the champion now, but he lost to this guy on the way to the title. But I do think that we see Moreno fight one more time this year, probably maybe like September. And I think that I think it'll be against Pantoja, and I think he'll win. So cool, man. We're in agreement on that one. Now, next is the most dominant champion in UFC history. History, Nico, not just this year, but in history. I mean, he's undefeated as the champion. Aljamain Sterling. And then the number 1 through 5 contender is Peter Yan. Number 2, Corey Sandhagen. Number 3, Rob Font. Number 4, Jose Aldo. Number 5, Cody Garbrandt. Who do you think will be champion at the end of the year, Nico?
Henry Cejudo.
Really? Okay. I like it, man. I like it. Huh.
Can I get crazy like that? I don't even know
you can, because
we saw the testing pool. Like, can I pull that out?
I got some pretty wild stuff myself, man. But I could see Henry coming back and doing some crazy stuff. Brandon Carl. Hey, there's my boy Brandon Carl, man. Brandon
White.
Dana
White, 135-pound champion.
Yeah. Nico, we need to congratulate Brandon Carl. the 2021 tetherball champion of Long Island, New York. It was on ESPN 8, the Ocho, last
The
night.
Ocho.
And
Ocho.
good job, Brandon. We're glad to have you here, man.
Brandon. 2-time badminton champion of the world.
Yes. 2-time badminton, 1-time tetherball, man. One more, that dude's really like a all-around athlete. He wants to know when was Cejudo's last fight.
He's like the Bo Jackson of bullshit sports.
He is, man. He is.
I heard he's on the bocce ball court right now. It's crazy that he's even hitting us up. It's wild.
He's training, man. He's training. He told me that he was thinking about getting into handball.
Really? Because he told me he was thinking about getting into disc golf.
This guy, hey man, that's dangerous, man. You gotta be careful.
Very dangerous.
Because he does it for all the single moms. That's what's up, man. I wonder if he'll be up for an award on the Ocho this year, like best athlete of the Ocho, something like that, man. So yeah, good job, Brandon. Hey, we're glad to have you here, man.
Chinese checkers.
Chinese checkers, hardcore parkour. Come on, man. I never heard of him doing any parkour though.
No, I seen him do a backflip out of Cadillac once.
You did?
Yeah.
Hey, but look, Alpha said when he showed up, Brandon moved real quick, man. He was out of there real fast, so that might have been parkour he was doing.
Agile,
for real. But so anyway, he wanted to know when was the last time Cejudo fought. That was the fight against Dominic Cruz, right?
Yes.
So when did Dominic Cruz fight him? I'm not really sure. I think that might have been 2019, to be completely honest with you. Let's see. So that was May of last year. So he hasn't fought in a year and a month. So, okay. I mean, he says he retired. We'll see what happens. And Nico, I'm looking at the top of that weight class. And he's not going to have time to do it this year, but I do think at some point in 2022, I know this is a far-fetched one, but I think that Pedro Munoz is going to be champion.
That's a good call.
Thank you, man. But by the end of this year, I think Peter Yan will be back as champion. Whether Aljo fights him or whether they just move Sandhagen up as like to fight Yan for the title because they strip Aljo because I don't think he ever wants to fight again, or whoever they need to throw in there. I mean, Rob Font maybe. But I think Yan gets the job done no matter who he fights next. And hey, look, Brandon said, "Love y'all boys. Nobody would know. I did a backflip out of caddy once."
Come on, man. I try to tell him what it is.
Yeah, that's what's up, Brandon. Hey, we're glad to have you here, bro.
Double backflip.
Triple gainer, man.
Yeah,
but but yeah, so I'm going with Peter Yan. And Nico, we're gonna make a chart and we'll look at this. I'll take everything down. I'll go back and we'll make a graphic and we'll put it up on our page just so people can see who our pick is. So the next one is a very interesting one, Nico, especially with Max Holloway being injured right now and pulling out of that fight against Yair Rodriguez. So the one that's 145. Yep. Mm-hmm. The 145-pound title currently with I can't even think of his name right now. Oh, Alexander Volkanovski. There you go. Oh. He's the champ. He's fighting Ortega this summer. Oh. I don't know if there will be time for another title fight by the end of the year. But number 1 is Max Holloway. Number 2, Brian Ortega. Number 3, Yair Rodriguez. Number 4, the Korean Zombie. Number 5, Calvin Kattar. Who do you have as the champ when the year turns? Or do you want me to go first on this one?
I'm going when 2022 closes.
Really?
That's why I'm going with closes. Because I want to give him time to get in the mix. I'm still going with Maxie.
Yeah, I got you. And Nico, and this is the messed up part about this because it kind of gives away, it kind of shows some of my hand of how I think upcoming fights will play out if I tell you who I think is going to be the champion. But at the close of this year, I think Brian Ortega will be champion. And I think by 3 months into 2022, I think Max will be champion again.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's my pick. I know, a lot of people don't think that Brian has what it takes to beat Volkanovski. I think Brian has exactly what it takes to beat Volkanovski. Hey, catch up with y'all after the game is over. Go Suns. Hey, I'll tell you Suns story some other time, bro.
Suns
Be
in
good.
4. Suns in 4.
Good luck to your team, bro. I'll knock on some wood. But yeah, I think Brian has exactly what it takes to beat Volkanovski. And I think that Volkanovski, as he is a good wrestler, he is not going to want to take Brian to the ground. And Brian is going to love to get taken to the ground. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if he even pulled guard at one point because Brian is just that good on the ground.
100%.
But like I said, I think Brian will be the champion, short-term, transitional champ, as they say, for Max to become champion again. So moving on up to
And if
lightweight.
Max don't get that crack, I could see Chan Sung Jung pulling it out.
Really?
Yep.
Bro, he's been around a while, and I would love to see that.
I would love to see that. I was just thinking that, like, what would be the Cinderella story? Like, I would love to see that.
Yep. And hey, don't write off Calvin Kattar yet either, because Max talks about moving up to lightweight at some point, and I think Calvin Kattar's still a very dangerous dude at 145. Just because he can't beat Max, who is, in my opinion, the best in the world at 145 and one of the top fighters pound for pound. Don't write off Calvin Kattar because I think that he has a good upswing, and I think that he could do some damage in the future. And given the right trajectory, he could be champion. I'm not saying he will be, but it's possible, man. He's pretty damn good, and he hits hard, So we'll just, we'll see what happens in the future with that. But moving up to lightweight, 155-pound championship. We have the king of 155 right now, Charles Oliveira. They say it's the strongest weight class.
Charlie Olives.
What's that?
Charlie Olives.
Charlie Olives, indeed. So number 1 is Dustin Poirier. Number 2, Justin Gaethje. Number 3, Beneil Dariush. I love seeing him at number 3, Nico. That just makes me happy. Number 4, Michael Chandler. Number 5, Conor McGregor. Nico, I know you wanted to throw out what's his name? Who did you say earlier as your crazy pick? You said Henry Cejudo. Here you go, man. Conor McGregor, champ by the end of the year. I said it, bro. He beats Dustin. He beats Dustin. Can I get
crazier?
And then he beats Charles Oliveira.
Can I get crazier?
Absolutely, man. I
don't care who has it by the end of the year. Within that time, Nate Diaz takes out whoever's the champion.
You think he's going back to 155, huh?
Back to 155.
Okay.
For Dustin or for Conor.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Only if they capture the title.
But look,
I think Dustin smokes Conor's boots and he gets the title off of Charlie Olives.
Hey, I would like to see that, honestly. If that happens, I won't be disappointed. I'll be very happy. But, Nico, and I think that you'll agree, because we've talked on air and off air about this. By the end of 2022, Islam will be the champion at 155.
Oh, let's go.
I mean, I think we both agree on that, correct?
Coach of the Year 2022.
There you go, man. But, I mean, we both agree on that one, right? That Islam's the future of that division.
Yeah, 100%.
So, and I'm glad that they're not throwing him in to too many big fights right now, because he's ready, but they don't rush it. Give him another fight or two against guys that are at the bottom of the top 10. Let him fight Tony Ferguson next. Somebody who's not quite as dangerous as throwing him in there with like Michael Chandler or something like that. Let him get his feet wet a little bit more. Let him get a 5-rounder or 2 in the main event before they just throw him into a title fight, is what I'd like to see, personally. So 170, I think, Nico, is one of the more interesting weight classes going forward this year. So we have Kamaru Usman as the champion. Number 1, Colby Covington. Number 2, Gilbert Burns. Number 3, Leon Edwards. Number 4, Stephen Thompson. Number 5, Vicente Luque. I'll even say number 6 is Michael Chiesa, and number 7 is Jorge Masvidal. Because you know what? The whole top, let's say the top 7 are all killers. 8, 9, and 10 are good fighters. They're consistent: Neil Magny, Bilal Muhammad, and Jeff Neal. But though I wouldn't call those guys killers, but I would call everybody in the top seven a killer. And on any given night, any one of those seven could beat any one of those seven, in my opinion. But who do you think will be the champion at the end of this year, beginning of next year?
Long live King Usman.
Really? Okay.
That's the second coming of GSP.
Yeah.
It is. He just got to get his head motion up to par. But when his head motion is up to par, it's a wrap, bro. He's constantly adding something new to his arsenal every time he steps into that octagon. And when he decides to go to his version of Father's game plan, a la Khabib, it's over, bro. You can't stop him when he goes into his wrestling bag.
That's true. That's definitely true. Nico, I'm going to go out on a limb here. And number one, I'm going to say that Leon Edwards, I don't care if you win 15 fights in a row. I don't think you're ever going to get a title shot.
Nope.
Unless you fill in for somebody. I don't know why. I don't think the dude's interesting. I don't think anybody cares about him. I said that a while back, the Tony Atlas thing, that he's not even a household name in his own household. But what I do think is going to happen, Nico, I'm just going to go with – what's that?
Steven?
I was going to say I'm going to go with my heart and say Steven, because I want to see him be the champion. And if he beats Gilbert Burns, they're going to give him a title shot.
If anybody was going to do it, I would put it up to Steven, because he just has that unorthodox style that Usman hasn't seen yet.
Right.
I don't think he's ever dealt with something on that level yet.
Yep. And, you know, we saw GSP against a lot of really good strikers, and he made them look bad.
Yeah.
And Usman might be able to do that, go out there and pull a GSP where he just takes these guys down and pounds on them for 5 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you saw GSP made it look pretty easy against Dan Hardy, who was knocking everybody out. He made Thiago Alves look like a nobody. You know what I mean? When Thiago was killing everybody.
Yep.
So it's definitely a dangerous fight for both guys, but I would love to see Wonder Boy be champ by the end of the year. And I'm going to go ahead and pick him. I'm going to throw that out there. And, you know, we'll see what sticks. The next one, Nico, I think that you and I will both agree. I'll go first, but you got Israel Adesanya, champion. Robert Whittaker, number 1. Paulo Costa, 2. Jared Cannonier, number 3. Marvin Vettori, number 4. And number 5, Derek Brunson. I think that we both know that Marvin Vettori will not be the champion at the end of the year, but Israel Adesanya will keep the belt. What do you think? You don't think that Adesanya's keeping the title, Nico? Let's hear it, man. Bobby Knuckles, really? I've seen a lot of people saying that.
I just want to get crazy. I want to go against you on that show, so I gotta speak it into existence now.
Right. See, the only thing that I think is kind of crazy about that is how easy Adesanya made it look the first time.
Mm-hmm.
He made Robert Whittaker, who was kicking everybody's ass, look bad. I mean, Adesanya went in there and beat him in the first round and knocked him out. I mean, that was a severe beating he put on him.
100%.
So I just don't see, even if it's a closer fight the second time, I just don't see Whittaker getting it done. Like I said, I'm going to go with Adesanya keeping the title for the rest of the year. But so that's two of my picks, I think, so far. Let's see. Is it only 2 that I've picked to keep the title for the rest of the year? Yeah, so far I've only gone with 2 guys taking the title into next year. Nico, I think I might surprise you with this one. 205. Number 1 contender, Glover Teixeira. Number 2, Yuri Prochazka. Number 3, Alexander Rakic. Number 4, Thiago Santos. Number 5, Dominic Reyes.
Yep.
In my opinion, Nico,
Alexander Rakic.
Man, I thought so, but I don't think he'll get a title shot by the end of the year. I'm going with Yuri Prochazka. Yeah, I think that he's got a style that those guys are not going to be able to handle. And unless he gets caught coming in clean, then I think he's gonna beat some asses in that weight class for a while. He's just so unorthodox. I think he's so good, Nico, that he could get John Jones to come back down. I think he's that good.
Mm.
It's yet to be seen, but some of the striking I've seen of him outside of the UFC, now that I know who he is and I've watched old stuff, I'm like, man, that guy's got a style. And like you were talking about Wonder Boy being unorthodox and stuff, this dude is an unorthodox fighter. I mean, he does shit wrong. He does stuff that technically is so wrong that people would never expect it. You know what I mean? So it's like he does it so wrong, he's right. But go ahead, man. Who do you think will be the champion by the end of the year? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, Hobich, so you think he goes through Glover?
I think he gets through any and everybody right now. Honestly,
Okay.
I do. After the performance he put up against Israel, because I was sure Israel could go into 205 and handle anybody below Jan. So watching the way that Jan performed against him, I think that he holds that title for at least a year.
I like it, man. I like it. And I like Jan, and I would not mind seeing him keep the title. I was one of the people really rooting for him when he fought for the title.
Mm-hmm.
I put a little bit of cash on him. He paid out. I knew that he was going to beat Reyes, and he made me look good that night.
Indeed.
But so this is kind of a complicated one because now we're talking about interim titles and everything else. But world heavyweight champ, 265 and under, Francis Ngannou is the champ. And then number 1 is Stipe Miocic. Number 2 is Derek Lewis. Number 3 is Cyril Gane. Number 4 is Curtis Blades. And number 5 is Alexander Volkov. Well, you could just go ahead and scratch Volkov, Curtis Blades, Jairzinho, all right off of there because they're all coming off of losses. Right? Oh no, Jairzinho won his last fight, but he lost his 2 prior. Curtis Blades is coming off of a knockout loss. Alexander's coming off of a loss. So basically, it's got to be either Francis, Stipe, Derek Lewis, Cyril Gane, or John Jones. I mean, we could probably both agree on it's got to be one of those 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who do you think will be the champ at the end of the year when the smoke clears?
Texas Longhorns, baby.
Yeah?
D. Lewis.
Derek Lewis? Oh, I love it, man. I love it.
And I'm ordering Popeyes when he fights Cyril Gane.
Fuck yeah. You know what, Nico? Just looking at this list, I'll go with Derek Lewis too, man. I love the guy. I explained to you earlier how I think that it's going to come about. And yeah, I'll go with it, man. I think he will be undisputed champ at the end of the year. And I'll go right down the road because I got Popeyes about 5 minutes from my house. I'll get some too, man. Fuck it. We'll have a virtual Popeyes party.
That's what I like to hear.
So next, Nico, women's 115-pound, women's strawweight, the champ, Thug Rose, Namajunas. Number 1 contender, Weili Zhang. Number 2, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Number 3, Carla Esparza. Number 4, Yan Xiaonan. And number 5, Marina Rodriguez. Nico, who's going to be the champ at the end of the year?
Thug Rose.
I'm going to agree with you because I think that she beats Carla and then she doesn't fight again this year. So I'm with you, man. I think two big wins this year. I don't think she'll fight another time this year. Rose normally gets about two fights a year and then she's done. So I'll go with that. Now, if we're talking the fight after that, I think she'll lose, but I think that she will have a successful defense against Carla. I don't know who she may even defend it a few times actually because the top 4 right now she could beat. So we'll just see what happens. We've talked about Tatiana Suarez and how, she would be a good matchup only because of how good her grappling is against Rose, but she's not even in the top 15 anymore. They just announced she's coming back, and her fight is against Roxanne Manfredi. So it's like that fight obviously isn't going to do anything for her. And is that even at – I think that might even be at 125. I think she might be going up a weight class unless Roxanne's coming down. Let me see if they have that listed. But, man, Tatiana, what an underachiever since The Ultimate Fighter. And I know she has health issues. I'm not This is not a dig at her. I think that she's an amazing athlete, and I think that if she could stay healthy, she could be the champion. But man, it's just been a rough run for her, man.
Yeah.
So let's see. All right. So yeah, she's gonna fight Roxanne at 125. So Nico, that's an interesting move for her. It's a very smart move for her too, because she's coming in against Roxanne, who's already number 9. If she wins that fight, they would probably put her at 8 or 7 above Jessica Ai and Viviane Arroyo, and another win after that, and she could get a title shot against Valentina. That's over here at flyweight. At strawweight, I think the path to a title shot is a lot harder. So it's probably a good decision that she is going up in weight. We'll just see, and with her having health issues, that it might be harder for her to cut weight. So that might be a good thing. But we both agreed on Thug Rose. 125, Valentina Shevchenko, number 1 through 5. It doesn't matter who they are. At the end of the year, Valentina will still be champion. What do you think?
Good call.
I'm not even going to waste either of our time.
Sitting here entertaining no bullshit.
None at all. And it's like, I don't even want to see her fight any of these people. The only one.
You know who I watch her fight? I watch her fight Rose.
Yeah, against Rose. Yeah. The only fighter, right, in the top 10 who I think would have an exciting fight against her would be Joanne Calderwood, and it would be over within a round or two. And
Rose.
They just screwed her out of that decision. And Lauren Murphy, oh my God, I don't think that she would last 2 full minutes
Rose.
with Valentina. No, I'm feeling you on that. I'm just saying currently at 125, that's such a shit show right there, man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Alexa Grasso at number 10, she's not beating Valentina. None of these people are even winning a round against
her. Got better
her.
boxing than Valentina, and I don't see them going to the ground, man. I think Rose can pull that shit out.
Oh, give me a break, man. Give me a break.
I'm dead ass.
Not me, man. I think she's too small.
I'm dead. Yo, didn't we see JJ versus Valentina?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Valentina won that handily. I mean, she won her unanimous decision, right?
All right, but still, it went the distance.
It did, yeah. And
Rose knocked JJ the fuck out.
She did the first time. Second time it went the distance. But you know what, Nico? We probably will never see that fight unless they get offered a lot of money. Only because you remember they're training partners sometimes. And I know that Valentina.
Yeah. I forgot about that, actually.
You remember she trained her for the JJ fight.
Yeah.
Man, Joanna Jędrzejczyk must fucking hate Valentina.
Facts.
She's got to hate her. I mean, she beat her 3 times in Muay Thai.
Boxing, yep.
1 time in MMA and trained Rose.
Teaches the girl to take her title.
God, if there's anybody who hates another fighter, it's got to be her. JJ.
Joanna got to name her first child after Valentina, whether it's a boy or a girl.
There you go. Valentine for a boy and Valentina for a girl.
Yeah.
Valentine. So, all right, Nico. The next one.
Amanda Nunes.
Okay. So Amanda Nunes, who is the champion right now, number 1 through 5, it really doesn't matter. It's Jermaine Duran to me. Holly Holm.
Amanda will retire as champion.
Aspen Ladd, Irene Aldana, and Yana Kunikova. Okay. Nico? Fuck it, man. I've been a fan since The Ultimate Fighter. I'm taking Juliana Pena to take the 135-pound title.
Nah,
I don't give a fuck. I'm ride or die with my fighters, bro.
Nah.
I've been watching her.
I can see Yana in 2022.
Yeah, bro. She's getting better every time out, man.
I could see Yana in 2022, but nah. Amanda closes the year with this title.
Nico, you know what? Yana being with Thiago Santos. And all of a sudden, her striking is improving, looking a whole lot more crisp.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like Pat Barry, man, being with Rose.
That's right.
Pat Barry, he was a good striker. He never got to that level exactly where he wanted to be.
Pour your all into your significant other. Yep.
Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, man.
You know, nothing wrong at all.
Yo, some of us wasn't born to be in that ring for
Yeah.
for our
Yeah.
career. Some of us was born to coach. Some of us got the eye for it more so
Yeah.
than we do the knack for being in that ring. There's
I'm
nothing
with you on
wrong
that
with
one, man. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. So, and hopefully they stay together because, bro, she's bad. And like, I think that the talent has always been there, but he's fine tuning it now, and she's really showing, you know, that talent has always been there. So, I agree that I think that she definitely could be champion in the foreseeable future. Now, 145, Amanda Nunes will still be the champ. I give you that one, Nico. Everybody in the top 15 is unnamed. I think they're all of their names is NA. But it just goes to show you how terrible the 145-pound division is.
You got to get that girl from the PFL to come over.
Kayla?
Yup, but she got to be able to drop that 10 pounds.
Yeah, yep. She's fought at 145 a few times. So I think she could
do that shit consistently.
Yeah, yep. You're right about that, man. You're right about that. But so anyway, let's see. So that's the full roster of UFC and who we think are going to be champions. So Nico, let me ask you this now, because we're doing some good predictions for the future. What do you think of the fights that are scheduled right now? What's going to be the biggest upset of the year? From here to the end of the year.
Well, I don't really know the fights offhand like that.
Okay, let me pull up the schedule, and I'll just read off the important ones.
Okay.
265 is what's coming up, and I'll tell you. Oh no, okay, UFC 264 is what's coming up. Let me go back. Let's see. UFC 264. We'll just talk about the pay-per-view fights, the main fights. So the next pay-per-view, Gilbert Burns versus Stephen Thompson and Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor. Those are the two main fights on that card.
Thompson upsets Burns.
Okay. Is Burns the favorite?
Do people? I don't know if people view it as that, but I feel like that's how people would view it.
Okay. The next event is Derek Lewis versus Cyril Gane and Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena. Obviously, from what I said a few minutes ago, I think Juliana
pulls off the upset. Yeah, that would be the biggest upset if Pena pulls it off. In the history of the UFC, outside of Matt Serra.
Yeah, probably. I'm trying.
Or maybe Weidman Silva. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Pena is not beating Amanda, bro.
Hey, man.
She got to get her fucking block knocked off.
I see it, bro. You just watch. The dirty boxing will be there.
Nah, you watch that first takedown get stuffed and then her get clipped with this overhand. Watch her eyes light up like every woman in the past.
Hey,
then when she make you do that fucking Pez dispenser, it looks like you're supposed to distribute candy from your neckline when she pop you with that shit.
Oh, gosh. That sounds horrible. Hey, I didn't even know this fight was going on, but the following event, which is UFC 266. Now, this isn't the main event or anything, but they've announced that Curtis Blades is fighting Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Did you know that?
Nah, I didn't.
I like that fight, though.
I like that as well.
It'll establish a nice pecking order in the heavyweight division, but I don't think that they've announced too many fights for that event. The two biggest fights is that fight right there and Brian Ortega versus Alexander Volkanovski.
Yo. Has anybody stepped in for O'Malley?
Yes, I'll tell you about it in a second.
Okay.
And then the next event is going to be Jan Blachowicz versus Glover Teixeira, and they don't have any fights lined up for that yet besides the main event. So you don't really see any of those being big upsets or anything?
Nah.
Okay. Let's see. I'm just looking for one other thing. All right. So besides that, there's a couple of ESPN cards announced. I'll just tell you a couple of the main fights. You got Corey Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw. No other big fights signed for that event. Uriah Hall versus Sean Strickland as the main event on the next UFC on ESPN after the Dillashaw fight, and then Jared Cannonier versus Kelvin Gastelum. All those fights have got to be pretty close, so none of them would be like a big upset.
Yeah, no, those are going to be razor thin odds.
Either way. Oh yeah, so earlier when I said that I think Pantoja will be the Alexander Pantoja will be the next title challenger. He's fighting Brandon Royval. Let's see, in August. So that would line up.
A good fight. Yeah, that's good.
Right. So if he wins that fight, I think it would line up perfectly for Brandon to fight him later on in the year, probably by the end of the year. So, and I think Brandon probably needs a little bit of a break right now, coming off of 2 fights, somewhat close together, and 2 big training camps. So we'll just we'll see what happens with that. But yes, Nico, Sean O'Malley does have a opponent who I think is making his UFC debut, to be honest with you, bro.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm like, seriously? Let's see. O'Malley gets an unexpected replacement. Newcomer Chris Mountino will be fighting Sean O'Malley. And let's see, Chris Mountino, let's see, I'm trying to look for his record real quick. Let's see where that's at. I'm going to give you a little brief history of him. I looked at it earlier. I just can't remember everything about him. I don't want to speak incorrectly. So let's see. There we go. So Chris Mountino is 9-4. He is coming from the CFFC, which is, let's see, what is the CFFC again? Cage Fury Fighting Championships. Okay. He's won his last 2 fights. Let's see, that was by, what was this by? Okay, he won by triangle choke in his last fight, and he won by knockout the fight before. Before those 2 fights, though, he lost 2 fights in a row, both by knockout. He has never fought anybody that I know, and he has lost. Okay, he's lost 2 by submission early in his career, and then 2 by knockout in, let's see, in 2019.
Yeah,
I think
you're not the one.
No, I think that they're bringing him in to get knocked out and make Sean O'Malley have another highlight reel finish.
Yeah, you're not the one, my guy.
No, and it's unfortunate because it really does nothing for O'Malley.
They probably put that shit out in like a Craigslist ad.
Yeah, actually, Dana put up a little Facebook post. He's like, "Hey, if you want to fight O'Malley and you can make weight, hit me up.
Shoot me a DM right now. Shoot me a DM with you standing on the scale. If you're on weight, you got the fight."
Yeah. Diego Sanchez, can you make 135 by next week?
What's this guy's name? I want to know how many Instagram followers he has.
Chris Mountino, Moutino. I can look it up.
I'll look him up afterwards. I'm just curious as to how the fuck did they come up with this?
Man,
it was nobody at 135 pounds that wanted to square up with O'Malley. That's what they're telling me right now. They couldn't find nobody. Jose Aldo was busy. What the fuck is going on right now?
Nico, when I tell you that we have more followers on Facebook than he does on Instagram, I'm not lying.
Oh my god.
He's got 2,600 even as far as followers go.
That's not good, man. They set that man up for failure. They're like, "Hey, look, if you win, this could change your life, kid." But you know exactly what the fuck it's about to be.
Yeah. You're right about that. Oh gosh, I like this though. Nico, you got to see this guy. Let me see if I can find this picture a little bit bigger, because I like this picture of him, man. It's kind of interesting if O'Malley, sports his normal hairdo. Let's see, where is this guy at? What in the world? Let's see. You're gonna love the way this dude looks.
Maybe
Hold
he
on.
has like a call big mouth moment where he just loses, but he performs very well versus Sean. He shows people more than they were expecting to get out of him. Like maybe that's what he can get out of this, but I think that they set this man up for failure.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Nico. I'm gonna bring up a picture of him because I really want you to see this picture I'm looking at. I think that you're gonna love it, man. It may change your mind about who's gonna win this fight. Just to throw that
I
out there.
doubt it, but all right.
Get ready, Nico. Hold on, it's coming through. Boom! Look at this dude. Hold on. Nico, what do you think of that, man? He's got the pink hair.
He looks
Bro.
like fucking Sean O'Malley.
Exactly. He looks like the Mexican Sean O'Malley. That's what I thought, man.
What the fuck is going on?
Is he Mexican? I don't know. Let's see. I want to see where he's actually from, or his heritage, because I don't want to, call him a Mexican and he's not Mexican. But that's, let's see. He is from Massachusetts. I don't know. I think he's of some kind of
That's right around the
Latino
corner from
descent.
me.
What's that?
So that's right around the corner from me.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it'll be funny if he shows up with pink hair and O'Malley shows up with like his clown hair. It could be awesome. Oh, that's awesome. They actually, let's see this. I want to show you this picture. It's the same picture, but you'll see why I'm showing it to you. It's pretty damn cool. Let's see. But yeah, I'm interested now. But like I said, and you said, I think this is just to give O'Malley his big highlight reel finish. Check this out, Nico. Shit, it won't even show it. It's too tall of a picture. But anyway, it is
There's a whole lot of nipples right there.
Yeah, it was. That's why I wanted to show you their nipples. No, I'm just messing with you. Actually,
yeah, you can milk anything with nipples.
Hell yeah. Could you milk me, Fokker? Let's see. I can share the screen and just show you this picture actually that I'm looking at, which is pretty hilarious. Let's see. You see it?
Yep.
That's classic, man. I mean, bro, they got the same tattoo, it looks like.
It does. That's what I was telling you. He looks like O'Malley. Like it's like he's
insane.
fighting his clone. It's a mirror match.
Yep. This is like
strange.
Nico, you know what this is like? This is like Goldberg versus Gilbert.
Goldberg versus Gilbert. 100%.
I've seen this before. They stole it from the WWE, bro. So anyway, I'm not really impressed with that replacement.
Okay, GSP.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with his performance.
I'm not very impressed with their performance.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. I wanted to see I wanted to see something big out of O'Malley this fight, something that's going to throw him up, towards the top.
Yes.
Him and Smolka, I think it would have been an exciting fight. So,
Smolka could be dope.
Yeah, could have been. But anyway, Sunday night we'll be back. We'll have a different topic that night. You and I will discuss it before then. But then Wednesday's the big night. We'll be picking our picks for UFC 264. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be an awesome event. It's very, very top heavy. Like I said earlier, let's see. I'm going to read through the top fights on the card real quick. Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor. Gilbert Burns versus Stephen Thompson. Tai Tuivasa versus Greg Hardy. And Yana Kunitskaya versus Irene Aldana. And Sean O'Malley versus not Louis Smolka anymore. So pretty awesome card. I'm very excited for it, and we'll just see how it goes. Who's on the prelims that night? Oh, Carlos Condit versus Max Griffin's on the prelims. Max is gonna knock Carlos out, just to throw that out there. Nico Price is fighting Michael Pereira on the prelims.
That's
and also
my fucking guy. And it's not even because we share a name, because we spell that shit differently. That boy
Nico Price.
Yeah, he's different, man. He's a fucking savage.
Yeah, you're right, man. And then Ryan Hall is fighting Ila to Pereira. I'm not sure if I know this guy.
Ryan Hall is gonna break somebody's knee.
Bro, I mean, this dude's undefeated, 10-0. Okay, hey, he's had a couple, 2 fights in the UFC. He beat Damon Jackson and Youssef Zalal. I don't really know those guys, but bro, this dude has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This dude has 7 submission wins in his 10 fights, 2 knockouts, 7 submissions, and 1 decision. He's undefeated at 10-0. That being said, Ryan Hall is going to submit him, but it actually looks like that dude's kind of tough, man. So
it doesn't sound like it for sure. Those credentials, they speak wonders. But I still see
oh yeah,
Ryan tearing that man's ACL if he feel like it.
For sure, bro. Ryan Hall, that's a different kind of beast, man, for real. He's a throwback to Royce Gracie, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody used to think that BJ was so awesome with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and all that shit, and Ryan Hall like made it look easy against him, man. Fucked him up. So anyway, Nico, let's go ahead and bring it home, man. Go ahead and hit your line and let's
you already
take the
know
house.
what time it is, man. No need to adjust your screen. It's not Bruce Buffer, but you've been here live on TFG. Thank you for joining us once again. I'm your boy Nick Diddy here with my cousin Willie G. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys about what's going on in the sports combat world, and we'll holler at you later. Peace.